I'm going to talk a little bit about the product itself.
Yes.
What I do in my chatting with people and how we get people interested. So I'm going to talk about how this antioxidant work and how it works with our body. We all know that everybody is asking, do you have a testimony on this? Do you have a testimony on that one? Can you send me this? Can you send me that? Can this person use this? Can that person use that? Right? So we are always getting all these information. However, I just tell people that you don't even have to ask, because what happens is no matter whether somebody has a prostate issue or they have a hair loss or they have some joint pains, everything comes back to the cells. How healthy the cells are. If the cells are oxidized, free radical stress damage, or whatever it happens, then it accumulates in our body into a problem. So that's why I start with, let's say, hope you can see it from far. So everything in our body, whether it's joints or blood, or whether it is your hair, your finger, nails, everything, they are all made of cells. And these cells, they have similar structure. So this is going to be very technical, so be patient with it, okay? But you just get a general idea. Then you can relate on how you understand how it works with the body, how it affects our health. So everything in our body is made of cells, and the cells, they have a general formation and how it's composed. Now, we all know that it has its own, we call this cellular membrane. The cellular membrane, and then the interior is.
Sorry.
Oh, thank you.
For screen, you need to stand up.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Different here.
I apologize.
Okay, so when we have this cellular structural build up, the interior is more of molecule build up, and in the very center is the nucleus. Okay, the nucleus is the core of the cell, and inside the nucleus are two major things. Number one is the mitochondria. Mitochondria is the furnace, is the energy plant of the cells. So it generates ATP with glucose and oxygen. So when they burn, you generate energy. That's how you can play tennis. Okay. So when you run around, or even your metabolism, everything in our body, you need this metabolic function to generate the energy.
If you're more comfortable, you can go back to the other side.
Okay. So when you do that, so this is a very important part of the cell. Now the other thing is we have this chromosomes, or we call DNA. The DNA. That is the chromosome that make our cells how healthy it is. With healthy and normal, it will split in general about 2.4 years. The cells they split. So it takes about the whole body to generate a new system of cells every 2.4 years. So over our life, we generate, let's say the cells, God designed the cells to be able to divide 50 to 60 times in our lifetime. So in that case, when we do that, if 2.4 times 50, you live to 120. If it does 60 times, then you live to 150. Okay, so hopefully we can all live longer with the fount of life. Okay, do you know the average lifespan of let's say the African countries right now? Do you know the lifespan? The life expectancy.
There's a difference between different.
Yeah, different countries. So in most countries, average to be around. Actually, right now it's actually around 50 something, 51. In India, in China, in 1960, people live only 43.
Wow.
43 is the average lifespan. So then they progress to 50 to 60. Now it's 76, the whole country average. But in some good the big cities, the good quality life quality places, they live to 82.3, and that is similar to the average lifespan of Canada. So Canada, we live with the whole country, we average to be 82, and in Japan, people live to 83 something average. So they are the highest in the world. So when they average that, then a lot of people live beyond 90, 95, even 100. Okay, so in Japan, there are a lot of people that age later. So how we actually before that, it's about 37 even in China in the old times. So now see the difference between 37 to 83, 82. There's a big difference in the way how our life improved in the past 30, 40, 50 years. So now, why do we not live to 120 to 150 as yet? The reason being that we are always exposed to the attacks, right, from the universe, from whatever it is, accidents, pollution, stress, depression, anxiety, chemicals, pesticides, genetically modified food, so many different things that are attacking our body from the cellular level. So when they attack our body from the cells, they start from the membrane, which is like the skin of the cell. So when they start from the membrane of the cell, the membrane is also made of molecules, and the molecules are made of atoms. So if you understand the power of nuclear weapons, atomic bomb, because these are the smallest matter in the universe. When they explode, they become really powerful. That's why nuclear weapons are very, very scary weapons. So the atoms, they are the smallest matter in the universe. These atoms, they carry this we call a positive and negative ion or electrons. So the paired electrons, they go together. It's so usually they carry about, let's say, 4 pairs, positive and negative, positive and negative. So these are almost like a nuclear family, or a family living together, grandpa, grandma, father and a mother, and then boyfriend, girlfriend. So they live in clusters, and when they live together like this very happily, until one day a drunk driver hit the red light, right? So it kills one of the pairs. So it causes the loss of electron to one of the atoms, and the loss of it usually, let's say the negative one, a positive and negative. So if you lose one, then the other one becomes single, right? So when they are single, they are free. When they are free, they are supposed to get a lot of pair ones. So they will be going to grab ones from somewhere, but sometimes it's not so easy. So they kind of go out and go to the clubs and different places. So when they do that,
You're talking from experience, huh?
if they find a suitable one, maybe they settle down for some time. Yeah. But usually, if you are married, stay with your marriage. Please. Sometimes, because when you get a new girlfriend or wife, you usually compare with the older one. You say, oh, my other one does this better, does that better. So
I don't know what you mean.
They kind of jump around. They say, I don't like this one anymore. I'll find a lot of ones. Maybe I can eventually find one that more similar to my wife before. So now when this happens, these ones they become free radicals. So they are radicalized. They become very outrageously active. So when they go out and be aggressive, then they find they might say, "Oh, I like his wife better." So that causes more problem. When they grab that one, and this one becomes a free radical. So he might be fighting with him to get back, but he might lose all, and then he starts the same thing again. So this is called free radical cascading effect, which means it's like a rolling effect. It causes, so if this damage accumulates to be 1 million, 5 million, 10 million, then that's when you see an acne, when you see a pimple, when you see a small little thing in our body in the damage. So when that happens, it starts to create a problem. And these membranes of the cell is made of all these molecules. With the free radical cascading damage, then we open up holes. That's when the drunk driver, they can hit right into the interior, which includes our DNA. So when they bite and cut off the DNA protecting the telomere, then the DNA starts to have what we call mutation. When they are mutated, then this duplication is not normal anymore. So it starts to duplicate. It's like a photocopier. If you have a clean paper, a copy pretty good for a while, and then it starts to get fuzzy and finally totally black. Same thing with this. So when they are damaged, you copy from the bad to worse, and then eventually it's totally damaged and changed. So this when this DNA is damaged, then it starts to cause. Usually, when they are damaged, the body has a process called apoptosis, which means the programmed cell death. The cells, when they are damaged, they're mutated, they are supposed to die. It's like you order this person that are handicapped to go away, but sometimes they refuse to go. They said, okay, before I go, I might still want to make some kids. So then they make some new cells, but with the wrong coded formation. So when that happens, it causes something like what we call a mass in our body. When you feel, that's when somebody, they say, why do I feel this numb? Why do I feel this difficulty swallowing food? And then you go to see the doctor has to find out more. So they do the MRI, CT scan to find out what is the problem. If the scan shows there is a fluid inside, then we call that a cyst. If it's a fatty stuff, fat inside, then they call it a fatty pocket or something that's not bad enough. But if they find it is a very hard muscle-like tissue with the blood vessel activity, they call it vascular activity, the blood flow. The blood comes in, goes out, comes in, goes out. Then they call it, because it's a wrong-coded mass, then they call that cancer.
That's a big word.
Yeah. So this is the process of how, because what happens is, let's say on a sunny day you drive your car into the Algonquin Park, right? You go there and then you say, okay, I like this big park. It's so quiet. There's no pollution. There's no traffic. There's nothing here. I like it here. You anchor down and then build a little hut for yourself. You sneak out to buy some food. And you live there for 10 years, maybe 20 years. Nobody finds and you're okay. But if you are like a big billion-dollar investor and you say, oh, I like that big park. Let's buy that land and then we make 500,000 houses to sell for money. Now that's when the government jumps in. They say, oh, you're not supposed to do that. You have to get a permit for that. So that's when they apply they get permit and all of that. The government said you need to build highways, freeway, TDC, and everything. Even community centers, dental office maybe. Even you have to map out everything before we can approve you for building that. And that's so they will go do everything to qualify for that permit to get that done. So when that happens, eventually, if the government gives the final go-ahead, then this place is going to start building the highway, freeway, TDC, all the infrastructure. And when that happens, this place is made to grow, right? So that's when we call this cancer can grow bigger. Because when it's just a small little thing here, a lot of people die with old people. They die with cancer in the body. They die of something else. They have heart attack or something else, whatever, before the cancer becomes a big deal, big problem, because they are too small. So if the cancer cell is just like about 1 centimeter big, then it's supposed to be almost undefinable. The doctors will not find you. You don't feel it, nothing happens, so you live with it for a long time, maybe 20, 30, until even we die. But if this one happened to build the which is the blood vessels, when they build it to be about 2 centimeters big, that's when we actually starts to have symptoms. That's when you say, oh, why do I see redness in the urine? That's when people, let's say, start having bleeding in the bladder, in the kidney, or in somewhere, and that's when we realize the problem starts to grow. Now, if this becomes bigger, then the blood communication starts to flow faster. When it's tiny, it's almost a mini blood vessels. When it's bigger, then the blood, because in this one, all the bad cells, even if they are in there, but they only a few escape. Now, when the bad cells they escape, we actually have we call NK cells, natural killer cells, that would be sniping them. They kill them one by one, and we keep a balance until one day this one grows big and the blood volume starts to flow faster. So 100, 1,000, 10,000, 20,000, until maybe a million more goes out. Then the natural killer cells or our white blood cells start to lose the energy to kill them. They can't handle that anymore, and that's when all these bad cells, they go out and they say, oh, I like this area where they have some inflammation, some lymphatic blockage, or somewhere here that's blocked, and it's a good place to start another new subdivision. And if it happens to happen in the brain or in pancreas, that's more deadly place, and that's when we collapse. So this process is actually threatening to happen to every single one of us. If you go to the sick kids hospital, you can find small babies, small kids, they have cancer. And we have teenagers, anybody. The older people are more vulnerable to this, but so this is actually, we are not immune to this. It's supposed to be, it's happening to a lot of people, and we have to be very vigilant against this. But if you are a healthy eater, you go out and then you eat blueberry, goji berry, kale, and all these vegetables on a daily basis, then these things, they all carry this, what we call the antioxidants. So the antioxidants, they carry this electrons, and these electrons are the ones they can offer to the lost electrons. So they go out and match, give you one here, give you who meets a wife? I'll give you one here. Your girlfriend here. Now, if you are doing 8 plates of vegetables or fruits and all these a day, then you would be almost okay. But if you miss your lunch today and you didn't have a proper dinner tomorrow, on a daily basis, we are shortchanging our body. Every day we are accumulating the shortage. Every day. And that's how we don't live to 120 to 150. Right? So that's the point where I am coming to. So now, if you're not eating 8 plates of vegetables a day, then this is the solution.
Hello.
Okay, so you take this one, 10 drops a day is equal to eating 1,800, right? Apples or cups of apples. And that's when instead of wheelbarrowing a few partners or girlfriends, you're putting in a trainload. Okay, that's 10 times, 20 times more what this can do. So that's how you can rewind a lot of these problems, starting from the acne to inflammation to infection to different things, right? So that is the whole idea. Our formula of life is an antioxidant. So it deals with the free radical damage, the oxidative stress in our body. It's not a cure. It's not. We don't claim anything, but it helps with the free radical damage control.